Good evening. It's good to have you here. Thank you. Let's do a little community building right off the bat. Ready? Good evening. It is good to spend this evening together. Welcome to First Lutheran Church. I want to invite you to tonight, just take it all in. It has been a beautiful day, and we will close with a beautiful evening as well. We have our concert tonight featuring Dr. Gali Archer from New York City, and she is known as one of our great American organists. Welcome. Tonight's event is part of our annual musical arts series here at First Lutheran Church. You will find a list of remaining concerts and events concluding our 2025, we're not crossing over anymore, all of 2025 season on the back of your program. This evening, we would like to take time to remember our siblings in the country of Ukraine, who now, over 3 years later, continue to suffer from the unprovoked attack on their sovereign nation by Russia. This senseless destruction and devastation of buildings and cities, and the countless loss and displacement of human lives goes beyond all tragedy. We pray this night and every day and ask God's blessing, God's comfort, and God's peace upon the people of Ukraine in whatever tradition you or your neighbor may know. This aggression, we pray, will come to a swift end and in a way that honors, respects, and dignifies the Ukrainian people and their nation. Dr. Gali Archer is an organist of international renown. She is at the college, and she is at Vassar College and the director of music program at Barnard College, Columbia University, both in New York. Her concerts are often thematically based on various composers, countries, cultures, and relevant social justice issues. We are thrilled when last year Dr. Archer reached out to us and offered this evening's concert in honor of Ukraine and the war relief there. Therefore, this night, I invite you to read a summary of her many activities and accomplishments that are in your program, and to greet her at the reception that will be following the concert. As mentioned, tonight's concert is a war relief event for the people of Ukraine. Halfway through the concert, we will pause and take a free will offering. Your donations will be sent to the Eastern European Crisis Response, which is part of the Lutheran disaster response of the Evangelical Lutheran Church of America. 100% of your contributions will be used to provide much-needed support for the people affected by war in this region. Your checks may be made out to First Lutheran Church and include in the memo space, please, Ukrainian relief. You may also give online by scanning the QR code on the front of your program or by visiting our website at firstlutherancr.org. Thank you for your generosity of time, compassion, prayers, and your gifts this evening. Thank you for supporting an event, a very meaningful and timely event such as this evening. Now will you please join me in welcoming Dr. Gail Archer.
Am I on? I'm on. Oh, good. I have a treat for you. Hello. I'm so glad to see you all, and I can't wait to meet you all afterwards. I first went to Poland in the summer of 2003, and I've been traveling in Eastern Europe ever since and have played in all the countries. I've been to Russia 6 times. I first went there in 2013, and then first went to Ukraine in 2015, and traveled extensively and played concerts in both countries. So now you're going too. Just turn to the slides, and I'm going to show you. I have to change my glasses. Those are my music glasses, and these are my people glasses. Okay, you are in the Oliva Cathedral in Gdańsk, Poland, on the North Sea. This is one of the most beautiful Polish churches. The oldest pipes in the organ you're looking at are from the 17th century. I'm so thrilled I'm going to be playing a concert there again this summer. It's one of the great joys of this place to get the opportunity to play in the cathedral. Next slide, please. And that's the cathedral looking from the back. It's an enormous, great space. And it's not inside the city. It's in a park that's outside the walls. Go ahead. That's a small organ that's at the front near the altar. That organ is a tracker, a mechanical action organ, just 2 manuals. The big organ in the back has 4 manuals, but this smaller choir organ in the front has just 2 manuals. Go ahead. Okay, so now we're in another place in Poland. This is Pasum, Poland. There are 2 Lutheran churches there, and I've played in both of them. So this is the first church I played my all-Polish program on this beautiful organ. The organ dates from the 18th century. Go ahead. And there's the church, these lovely wooden pews, so simple and very, very beautiful. I've gotten to know Pastor Twardek and his family very well. I'm going there again this summer. It's such fun to go there. These small churches are just packed with people. Go ahead. Oh, this is a little Russian house. Some of the slides I see got mixed up. I was with the Romanenko family in Bryansk, Russia, one summer and played at their church. And this was just a charming little blue carved house. So many of the houses have wood carving in Russia and Poland, and it's very traditional among the men of the village to carve the houses with birds and flowers. It's really quite extraordinary to see. Go ahead. Oh, yes. Yeah, wait, go back. Go back, go back. Go back, go back. There we go. This is not a pretty building. Okay. But it's in Dobrich, Bulgaria, where I just visited last May. I had 2 days in this hall to record an all-Bulgarian program. The Union of Bulgarian Composers just released 14 volumes of new organ music. So I pulled a program out of there. Now we can go to the next slide. Go ahead. What happened to those other ones? They're the ones from, there we go. Okay. This is the organ in the concert hall in Dobrich. Where's Dobrich? I flew to Sofia, which is the capital, and then I took a little hop over to the Black Sea, to Varna, which is right on the ocean. Then they came by car to get me. So I'm a half an hour from the Black Sea, from Varna, to get to Dobrich. Go ahead. And it should be the red seats there there you go. That's the concert hall at Dobrich. The acoustics in there were splendid. And because the concert hall is in the center of the town, there's a walking plaza all the way around, so no traffic. We were recording in the middle of the day, and you could hear a pin drop in there. It was so wonderful. So we recorded for 2 days, and then I played the concert live for a Bulgarian audience. It was such an inspiring occasion. I just loved being there. Go ahead. Go ahead, next slide. No, that's the Bulgarian organ again. That's Dobrich. Oh, okay. Now we're in Lviv, on the Polish border in Ukraine. And this is the main concert hall, and I played a concert on that organ with the orchestra. I played a Handel concerto. It was such fun. The Cuckoo and the Nightingale is the piece I played with the orchestra in this hall. Go ahead. And there's the hall, so you get a chance to see. It's a beautiful concert hall. It's the regular concert hall of the city. Go ahead. Okay, this is another place in Ukraine. This is Chernivtsi. This is on the Romanian border in the western part of the country. This is the Armenian Catholic Church, which was constructed by Joseph Hlavka. Joseph Hlavka also built the monastery in Chernivtsi, and that is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I went to see the monastery also, which is now part of the university in Chernivtsi. This is the most beautiful church. Next slide. Yeah, you can see the Christ figure up in the dome of the church. Go ahead. No, that's not the organ in Chernivtsi. That's the organ in Vilnius, Lithuania. Okay. Well, we'll just keep going and hope we get to the organ. Okay, this is Vilnius. This is the capital of Lithuania. And the summer after the war started, I played my all-Ukrainian program on this organ in St. Casimir's Church right in the center of Vilnius. Every garden and every balcony in Vilnius had a Ukrainian flag over it, and there were 800 people at the concert. I was crying by the end of it. It was so moving to be there. Go ahead. And that's the church. That's St. Casimir's Church in Vilnius, Lithuania. And it's pink. The church is just beautiful on the outside. It's this gorgeous pink church. There you go. That's another view of the door of St. Casimir's. Go ahead. Oh, here we're in the Russian winter. I've been all the way across Russia on the train and have seen these white birch trees and the snow. I was there in the winter one year to play at Khanty-Mansisk, and I couldn't resist taking a picture of the woods. Go ahead. And that's the organ in the concert hall. In Russia, most of the organs are under the auspices of the orchestra of the city. So there's the main orchestra hall, and then upstairs or next door, there's a chamber music hall, which is the case here. This is the chamber music hall, and the pipe organ is there. Because in the Russian Orthodox Church, it's a sung tradition. There is no organ in a Russian Orthodox Church, but there are many organs in Russia. They are just in chamber music halls that are sponsored by the local orchestra. Go ahead. Okay, now we're back in Poland. This is Pasum. This is the other little organ in Pasum in Poland. And this is a 17th century organ, which they've beautifully restored. You can play romantic and modern pieces on it, but you have to pick rather carefully because the keyboards are a little smaller than this modern organ that I'm playing on tonight. Go ahead. And there's the church, the sweet little church. Go ahead. This is Bryansk. This is in Russia. This is where that little blue house was. There's a little group of Baptist churches around Bryansk. They actually bought this organ from a church here in the United States and then brought it all the way back to Bryansk and installed it in the church. And that's where I played the concert. Let's see. Oh, that's the Bryansk organ too. That's just looking from a different different angle. And, oh, now we're back in Bulgaria. How did those get so confused? Okay. That's okay. When you downloaded it, it just must have gone different order. This is the organ that's in that ugly building with the pretty red seats. It's a very lovely concert organ. It was a joy to play. Go ahead. That's Khmelnytsky in Ukraine. Go ahead. There we are. Khmelnytsky has the big hall for the orchestra downstairs, and then upstairs in this building is where you see me standing in front of the organ pipes. So they give chamber music concerts, vocal concerts, string quartets, and so forth in the little hall, and then the orchestra plays in the big hall on the ground floor. So this is the case in Ukraine as well as in Russia. Although in Ukraine there are Western churches. I played at the Lutheran church in Odessa, for example, and a Reformed church in Odessa also. So there are Eastern and Western Rite churches in these countries. Go ahead. Oh, now we're back in Poland. This is St. Mary's Cathedral. This is actually in the old town in Gdańsk. This church was leveled in World War II. Go ahead. This organ actually came from another church that was also leveled. What survived was the 17th century hand-carved organ case. When you get close to it, it looks like a Fabergé egg. I have never seen anything so gilt, silver, gold, and hand carving. So the good people of St. Mary's saved the organ case from the other church, put it up in their church, and then German war reparations had the Hildebrand Company build a new organ inside the old case. Go ahead. That's St. Mary's, looking from upstairs. And there's the organ. It's like 50 draw pulls. You can't play this organ by yourself. You kind of choreograph who's going to pull which stops and push. And I use pink Post-its on one side and green Post-its on the other. It's like, yeah, it's choreography. But playing in there, woo, it's such a joy to play in that beautiful space. And this is a really great organ. Go ahead. Now, here finally, this is Chernivtsi in Ukraine. The organ was installed in the Armenian Catholic Church by the Philharmonic of the city. The orchestra paid for the organ in the church, and they use it for the summer organ recitals and chamber music concerts. But then the Armenian community uses it for their services on the weekend. We can't imagine this sort of thing in the United States, but in Eastern Europe, it's very common. Go ahead. Oh, now we're back in Moscow. This is the Lutheran Cathedral in Moscow. This is literally 10 minutes from Red Square, and I was staying in an apartment on the grounds of the cathedral. Go ahead. There's another shot of the main doorway of the cathedral. I was in the guest house over to the right of the cathedral building. And there's the inside. I'm upstairs in the organ balcony. It was an enormous church. And there's the organ, beautiful, three-manual romantic instrument in the Lutheran Cathedral. It was really very special indeed to have the opportunity to play there. And yes, I did go to Red Square, and yes, I did go to the Kremlin, but I was thrilled to be there and to play the concert. Go ahead. And yes, see, I'm proving that I'm there. There's St. Basil's Church in Red Square. I was actually there. Okay, this is another view of the Pasum organ, the one in Poland. This is the 17th century organ. I'm showing you all of the carving in the case. Go ahead. And do we need these saints and angels carved into the organ in order to play the organ? No. But in the 17th century, more decoration was always better. Go ahead. And there are the original stops. The organ's been totally restored to 20th century standards, but they kept the old draw pulls and the old names of all the stops, which I thought was just wonderful. Go ahead. There, that's a better view from downstairs looking up at the organ. Go ahead. That's it. Okay, that's the end of the tour. Now we're going to have Ukrainian music. Thank you.